Arum says he doubled Teofimo's defense minimum. Lopez had a title defense minimum. We more than doubled it, and now suddenly, that becomes peanuts. What the hell are we talking about, said Bob Arum to The Athletic. Arum says he offered Teofimo more than double the title defense minimum, and yet Mike Coppinger says Teofimo was offered the contract minimum at $1.25 million for the fight with Kambosos. Why would Arum say that he offered Teofimo twice the contract minimum if it wasn't so? From Arum's standpoint, it doesn't make sense to pay Teofimo more than the fight takes in. Even though Kambosos Jr. is technically the IBF mandatory, it's a low-level fight.
More money issues from a dirty old promoter. Should not be shocked. For somebody like Bob Arum to constantly keep somebody's name like Al Heyman in his mouth, one thing I could say about Al Heyman, there's never any money issues. Never. As a matter of fact, Bob Arum is the only promoter who consistently has money issues with both people on the opposing side and the people on his own team. Never hear about Eddie Hearn complaining about money. You're definitely not going to hear nothing from PBC when it comes to dollars. You know, you don't hear nothing from nobody else. But yet, when it comes to talk about money and the shortage of money, it's always Al Heyman. It's always Al Heyman. The reason why you have to take this into consideration, because we're wanting to see a Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, correct? There's only so much we could put on Errol Spence and the team and Al Heyman. We have to realize on the other end that you're dealing with somebody who's notoriously cheap, who's notoriously known for robbing his fighters. Now, with Teofimo Lopez's issue about getting money, now, of course, you're going to have some people out there that's going to be like, oh, he's always want more money. He's always this and that. Yeah, he's supposed to, because that is the reason why he did what he did in 16 fights. He said it. You got to be pretty, boy, before you could be money. Okay? Him fast-tracking himself and taking on Lomachenko when most everybody was bullshitting and pussyfooting around. That was him doing his pretty boy Floyd thing, because Teofimo Lopez has always wanted to get to the money. And you can't knock him for that if he's doing the work to request and get what he's asking for. But at the end of the day, Bob Arum is always having problems and issues with money. Always. But yet, every time you turn around, he's opening his mouth saying something about Al Heyman and what it's doing to boxing. And most people follow behind him. And yeah, PBC be giving us some fights we don't like and all this other shit, you know. And we speak about it. But one thing that can't be ignored, and it's not spoken of on an equal playing field, is the fact that Bob Arum fucks up a lot of relationships. Lomachenko couldn't get a Mikey Garcia fight because Mikey didn't want to do business with him. Why? Because he robbed Mikey ass. Floyd don't like doing business with him. Why? Because he tried to dick over Floyd. Pacquiao left him and went to PBC. Why? Because Bob Arum robbed him. He's done the same thing to everybody from Ali on down. He's been doing this a long time. Okay, so at the end of the day, when you don't get to see shit and when fights are being held up, Bob Arum deserves the same attention, or if not more, as people complaining about what goes on PBC. It just amazes me how people only have an eye for PBC. You know, PBC is not the only one doing shit that messes people up. But one thing you don't hear about PBC, it's never a money issue. It's never. And like I said, he has problems with people on the other side and on his own damn team consistently. Robbing his fighters consistently. Getting them beat before they leave them consistently. The truth of the matter is, Bob Arum, in my eyes, is more of a problem for boxing than any Al Heyman that you can come up with. And if you ask me, the Al Heyman complaints is it's overkill. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's overkill because at the end of the day, Al Heyman don't do the matchmaking over at PBC. Dan Brown does. Tim Brown does. You know? But I'm going to digress on that. And this is what I'm going to say about this. For somebody like Teofimo Lopez to be a person that wants to get paid and get money, I'm going to say this. Somebody like you has no business being signed with him. Don't re-sign with him because you see what you're dealing with. Okay? It's the wrong place for somebody like you. I'm going to say the same thing with Terrence Crawford. Even though Terrence Crawford more than likely will re-sign with Al. Don't know why, but he will. You know? But neither Terrence Crawford or Teofimo Lopez shouldn't be with Bob Arum because Bob Arum doesn't have the working relationships. He doesn't have the reputation. People don't like him, and they don't want to do business with just him. That's not a good promoter to have. Like I said, Loma wanted that Garcia fight, and he could have got it. But what happened? Bob Arum didn't want to pay Mikey Garcia what he wanted. Al Heyman did, though. You see? And that's a great fight that Loma missed out on. And that'd have been a good matchup. That'd have been great for either guy's resume. I would have liked to see that fight. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you would have. I would have liked to see that fight. That's why Mikey Garcia didn't end up on the Duck Chronicles. I understood. You know? But with Bob Arum, this is a consistent thing, man. And he's a trash promoter. Talk about Eddie, one of the best promoters out here right now. You know what I'm saying? He talks about everybody. He shits on everybody. But he doesn't hold up in the mirror, you know, and look at his shit. But Bob Arum is a big issue when it comes to this. And for all the people who supposedly love Manny Pacquiao so much, when you see Manny Pacquiao out here still fighting, Bob is the reason why. If Bob wasn't robbing him and have robbed him, do you really think somebody like Manny Pacquiao would have gave Floyd the satisfaction of knowing that he had to sign under him? Do you think he really would have did that? Not that I think that these guys dislike each other or something like that, but he wouldn't have did that shit. Just like he's trying to stall out for this fight, that Manny Pacquiao's trying to stall out for any kind of fight but a boxing fight. Because he needs the money. And why does he need the money? Because Bob Arum, super cheap ass, thief, robbed him. Just like he did everybody else who he's came in contact with. So somebody like Teofimo Lopez, when your contract is up, buddy, you need to be out. Because when you look at it, Bob Arum has some of the best fighters. He has Teofimo Lopez. He had, at one point in time, I mean, he still does, but, you know, nobody look at him like shit, Vasily Lomachenko and Terrence Bud Crawford. Those are some of the top names in the game. Now he got over there also, don't he got Inoue and don't he got Josh Taylor? Don't he got that? That is 5 top-class ass fighters. 5. And yet he's having all the problems in the world. This is what you got to understand. If you promised somebody something and you came out to the public and said that you doubled it, and then you turned around and didn't double it, you know, number one, nobody made you lie. And if you want to give them that, then just give them that and tell us that's what you gave them. You know, there is no problem with that. You know, but this is the thing. Stop expecting for you to get over every single fucking time. Sometimes, you know what you have to do? You have to invest, because in the long run, it's worth the investment because the return on your money. No, this may not be the fight that you make any money on, but eventually Teofimo Lopez will have the fights that you will eat greatly off of. So pay it forward. Invest in your product. It's not that hard. Whatever Teofimo Lopez wanted from me, I'll front it, because in the end, the matches that I will set him up with in the end, I will make my money back and some. Because at the end of the day, I'm the promoter. I'm the guy who makes more money off the guy that's fighting than the guy that's fighting. So why not invest my fucking money? It's very simple. He doesn't want to take a loss at no damn time. This is how you know the shit that he said about Terrence Boyd Crawford was overkill. Unnecessary. He's just old, cheap, and stingy. And at the end of the day, there's no room for no shit like that. You should have no problem giving Lopez whatever the fuck he wants. Whatever he wants, it shouldn't be a problem. No fighter is like him currently. What young fighter right now is sitting how he's sitting? And if things go right, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be breaking more records. If he goes up and, you know, the Ramirez and Taylor fight, and then he goes fight for undisputed then, and he wins undisputed then under 18 fights, that's a fucking Hall of Famer, buddy. On your roster. And you complaining about paying the man. Once again, this is why my respect for boxing is little to zero. Because how it operates, it's a clown sport, man. It's a clown sport. It's one of the greatest sports in the world, ran by clowns. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Bruce Van, I'm out.